used against you. You also have the right to an attorney. All participants, this particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet. That means anyone can log on and watch this. When I ask if you understand your rights, when I address each defendant, these are the rights to which I'm referring. Those who receive a surety bond today will be reset to the state all-purpose calendar on January the 31st. Those who receive a signature bond will be reset further notice. Are there any particular announcements before we begin?
I believe position number 8 has been released. They made bond.
All right, hearing none. Who do we have at courtroom 2?
Your Honor, if you don't mind, can we start with the Alpharetta Jail first?
What's the name?
Who's the defendant?
Denise Beasley.
Number 2.
Position number 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge froze up.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she coming back in more than likely.
Okay. That's not a good start.
All right. So what happened to my computer? So we'll use my secondary device. How much of that wonderful greeting did you all hear?
We ain't hear nothing. We on number 2.
Oh, we heard the greeting. We're just starting with position number 2.
All right, thank you. All right, are you Shanice Beasley?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Beasley, your case is 23CR000319. Why you're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of January the 17th. Do you understand your rights?
I believe so. I haven't seen the statute, which is something I'd like to do, but I think Ms. Kim is...
Basic rights as it pertains to this hearing. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. And you also have the right to an attorney at this proceeding. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. As this is her first, we'll go straight to the state. Who is this for the state?
It'll be me, Your Honor.
All right, please proceed.
Your Honor, officers arrived in reference to a domestic dispute. They spoke with a defendant who stated that the victim and her have been living together for 9 months and got into an argument. She told officers that she made the victim leave the residence, and after she left, she smashed multiple plates belonging to him and wrote that she was I am a whiny ass, bitch, and pasta sauce on the walls. The state will be requesting a $3,000 surety bond, 1 anger management class, no contact with the victim, Anthony Quantrochi, that's QUANTTROCCHI, and to stay away from the incident location, 3125 Addison Lane in Johns Creek.
All right, I'm gonna sound for, is it Quantrochi? Is Mr. Quantrochi present on this Zoom conference and wants to make a statement? All right, I don't see or hear Mr. Quantrochi. Who represents this defendant?
PD Kim.
All right, good afternoon. Good to see you, Ms. Kim. Ms. Kim, your recommendation.
Yes, Miss Beasley is actually a victim of this whole incident. She was attacked and battered by Mr. Anthony. She was the one who called for the police because he struck her and he used his arm to choke her neck, and she was knocked down to the floor. And all the rest of them happened after all that. But the police didn't catch the first part. I was wondering if we can get a signature on bond. Miss Beasley is qualified for public defender services since she has a seasonal job that she travels once in a while. Last job she had was August 2022, and ever since then she has not had any income. She has a bachelor's degree, and she has been living with his Mr. Anthony Quantrach for last 9 months. She's from Houston, Texas. He is the sole person that who has been contact here in Georgia, and my client is afraid of him now. She does not want to go back there. She does not want to continue the relationship. So she's the one who want to have no further contact and stay away from that location, except that she just has to go back there one time with a law enforcement officer to retrieve her personal belongings and her dog. So we would like to request for a signature on bond. Thanks.
All right, at this time, defendant will receive a $5,000 signature bond through the jail. She is to have no further contact with the alleged victim, last name Quantrochi. She's to stay away from the address on Addison Lane. She can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items, and she's to have alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Can I
All
just,
right.
So
sorry,
please, Miss Beasley, I'll be happy to call you to explain anything and everything. You've got the best deal, so I think you should stay silent.
All right. Best of luck to you. Who do we have next?
yeah. Thank you.
Position 11,
All right.
Mr. Price.
All right, Mr. Price, your case number is 23 CR 0000302A. I will not sound the charge in this case with the offense date of January the 5th. Do you understand your right?
Yeah, ma'am.
I understand this case was reset previously because there was no conflict attorney. Is there a conflict attorney today?
Yes, I saw Ms. McLeod on the line.
Okay, Ms. McLeod, and you've had the opportunity to speak with this defendant?
She's muted.
You're muted, Ms. McLeod. I see you're shaking your head, so I'm assuming yes. We'll go forward. Mr. Howard, please proceed.
He has 7 adult cycles. He's been in custody since I see a November 22nd, ag assault, unlawful for a person to participate in criminal street game, armed robbery, possession of a knife or a firearm during a commission. That's out of Cobb County Sheriff's Office. A 2021 possession of a knife or a firearm during a commission. 2021 battery, 2021 theft by taking felony. 2020 affray. He had a theft and a possession of a firearm that was dismissed out of Clayton County in 2020. His first 3 cycles were juvie cycles, so that's it.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Taylor, is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, please proceed.
Your Honor, Attorney Bianca Thomas with the Fulton County Public Defender's Office was seeing clients at the Fulton County Jail. After she spoke with her first client, the defendant came to the booth and began staring at her and inappropriately fondling himself. Attorney Thomas noticed this and was shocked, so she left the booth and went to another one nearby. The defendant followed her to that booth, and she told them that she was going to go tell an officer, but he replied that, "I don't care what you say." The defendant was later identified as Davon Price. The defendant is currently for aggravated assault, possession of a firearm, and commission of certain felonies, and has a $45,000 bond. We did speak with the victim, PD Thomas, and she said that she wanted to be here. She was here yesterday. I'm not sure if she's here today.
Yeah, I see Ms. Thomas.
The state would be asking for a $10,000 surety bond, no contact with Bianca Thomas, and that is all, Your Honor.
Ms. Thomas, do you wish to make a statement?
Not at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to court today. All right, Ms. McLeod. You're muted, Ms. McLeod. We can't hear you.
Judge, she's coming back on the line. She just reset. I just put her back on the line. I don't know if she can undo herself or not.
Ms. McLeod is like me. She's on here twice. We can't hear you, Ms. McLeod, on your secondary device or your primary device.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Can you hear me now? I was having some difficulty on my other device on my computer with my audio.
And now you're in outer space, Ms. McLeod. But yes, we can.
Yes, I had to.
Please.
That's my and I do apologize. My
That's
client,
right.
Mr. Price, he's 21 years old, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to talk to him, and he absolutely denies the charges. He says that the description does not fit him, and he was not in the area at the time, Your Honor. As Spirituala stated, my client, he has been incarcerated for, I believe, 15.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear
Now
you
we
now.
can.
Yes, I think I was using my phone and somebody was trying to call me. I'm so sorry, Your Honor. Yes, so he tells me that he has no memory of the incident, that he certainly was not in the area at the time. He says the description of somebody with matted locks and so on does not fit him. It's not him at all, Your Honor. Even if the court gives him a bond today, he's not going to get out because he is sitting there waiting on felony charges that he has, Your Honor. So I would ask the court to take that into consideration in setting any bond for him.
All right. At this time, defendant will receive a $7,500 surety bond. He's to have no contact with P.D. Thomas, and should he be released on any bonds, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Anything further?
And nothing further, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Best of luck to you, Mr. Price. What do we have next?
We're going back to courtroom 2, Your Honor. This is going to be position number 12, Mr. Robert Robinson.
All right, Mr. Robinson, your case number is 23 CR 0000328Y. You're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of January the 17th. Do you understand your rights today?
Can I say something?
Yes or no? You understand your rights?
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Howard?
This is 9th arrest between Georgia and New York. Last arrest was 2021, misdemeanor possession of marijuana. They pled no-lo to that. 2019, sale of marijuana dismissed. 2017, failure to appear, not prosecuted. He had a simple battery conviction, 2016, out of Gwinnett. 2010, marijuana possession. The bond assessment says he has a open trespass, 22 CR 006-526Y as in yellow. Last arrest in New York was 06. Criminal possession of a controlled substance.
Okay, thank you. All right, whose case is this with today?
This is mine, Your Honor. Assistant Solicitor Abdullah.
Okay, please proceed.
The defendant was caught on MARTA in violation of a MARTA suspension, an active MARTA suspension. At this time, the state is requesting a $2,000 signature bond with pretrial, no drugs, weapon, or alcohol while on bond, and for this defendant to comply with all MARTA suspensions.
All right.
Your Honor, we have no objection.
Okay. Okay, at this time, I'm sorry, I'm just curious, when did his MARTA suspension take place? And how long is it? Is he gonna be on suspension much longer?
Right now, we only have the warrant. We weren't able to get the police report because the incident just happened yesterday. So I don't have the exact details of the suspension, but whatever his suspension is, we just ask that he continue to comply with it. I'm sure this will prolong or this will create another suspension for him. So it'll probably go out for another year after this.
All right. All right, defendant will receive a $3,000 SOB through the jail. He is to comply with all active MARTA suspensions and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor, from defense.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir.
We done.
Who do we have?
Next, we have position number 1, Ms. Banks.
All right, Ms. Banks, good afternoon. Your case is 23 CR 00317G. You're charged with simple battery family violence. Do you understand your rights today?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
It's a fifth arrest. Last arrest was in 2011 in Kentucky. It's a bench warrant. Before that was 1999 robbery conviction. This is all out of Kentucky. It's our first Georgia arrest.
Okay, thank you. All right, whose case is this for the state? Is it yours, Mrs. Taylor?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Taylor, please proceed.
Your Honor, the defendant was talking on the phone with a friend when she mentioned that her 17-year-old daughter, the victim in the case, did not clean the house. The defendant stated that she was sick of this BITCH, and the victim overheard this exchange and called her the same. The defendant then got a broom and began to hit the victim multiple times. Officers were not able to observe any physical injuries to the victim. We would be requesting a $4,000 surety bond, no further violent contact with the victim, and 1 anger management class.
All right, thank you. And Ms. Kim?
Yes. Ms. Banks is 46 years old, and she has been here in Georgia for about 4 years. She moved from Kentucky, and she believes that she lost her job because she was arrested on September 17, and she was not able to go to work. So she's afraid that she's not going to be able to make any income, which means that she's going to be qualified for our service, public defender services. Your Honor, my client claims that it was a corporate punishment that, she was trying to discipline her daughter for using profanity and being very disrespectful to her. They are the only one. 2 of them are the only people who live together at their location. Her daughter right now is all by herself, and there's nobody else who can help her out to get out of the jail. So we would like to request for a signature on bond and no further violent contact for the minor. Thank you.
Is the minor child on the line? I'm just curious. What's her name, Mr. Taylor?
It is Mariah Johnson.
Is Ms. Johnson on the line and wishes to make a statement? All right, seeing and hearing none. Ms. Banks is going to receive a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial. She's to take the 1-day anger awareness course and have no further violent contact with the alleged victim in this case. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Signature bond, what does that mean?
If you'll speak with your attorney, they'll explain that to you further, okay?
Per judge.
Per judge, yes.
Got it.
All right, who do we have next?
Next, Your Honor, we have position number 4, Ms. Kiana Edmonds. Position number 4.
Edmonds, your case 23 CR 0003221F. You're charged with reckless conduct with the offense date of September the 23rd of 2021. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
This is an 8th adult arrest. Last arrest was 2018. All the history come out of New Jersey. 2018 shoplifting conviction. 2017 possession of marijuana. Possession of drug-related objects. Those were dismissed. 2016 she had possession with intent that was dismissed as well. I got a conviction for theft by unlawful taking. That was 2016. Local ordinance violation conviction from 2015.
That's sufficient. Thank you, Mr. Howard. Mr. Taylor?
Your Honor, this was a private warrant taken out by the victim, Dion Bryant. When What happened was that her neighbor who lives below her discharged a firearm and caused damage to the ceiling and her floor and shattered her glass table. We spoke with the victim and she stated that she was in the living room when she heard a loud noise. She got up and walked to her kitchen area and saw the glass table shattered and a hole in the floor and the ceiling. She went to the defendant and asked what happened, and the defendant stated that she had no idea. The victim went back home and called the landlord, who advised her to call the police because there was a bullet and it went through her house. She stated that she called the police and found a shell. She stated that she still lives at the home, but the landlord did not renew the defendant's lease. She would like restitution for her glass table and ceiling repairs, and that she would like no contact and a stay away. She stated that if it had just been 5 minutes prior to this incident, she would have been in that area and it could have resulted in severe injury or death. We'd be asking for a $15,000 surety bond, no contact with the victim, Dion Bryant, stay away from the location 1365 Sylvan Road Southwest. They have no drugs, alcohols, or weapons while out on bond.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Kiana Edmonds is, she's been here in Georgia for about 4 years. She moved from New Jersey. And this incident happened on 2021, September 23, almost 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, when she was dating her ex-boyfriend, Anthony McNeil, who confessed that it was him who made a mistake and accidentally fired the gun while he was cleaning the gun. My client was actually working at the time, so she had no clue what was going on. And that's why when she just got home, the complaining witness, Dion Bryant, came down and asked her. Of course, she didn't know anything about it. Your Honor, she is a single mom. She has a 10-year-old daughter who is currently staying with an 80-year-old neighbor. She was not able to renew the lease, and she felt dangerous by her ex-boyfriend's incident. So she's basically not having any contact with Miss Dion Bryant. She has no objection to stay away from that location either, because she cannot go back there anyway. So she has a new place. We would like to request for a signature on bond for the incident that she is not even aware of, or she was not even involved. Thanks, Your Honor.
All right, defendant will receive a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial services. She's to have no contact with the alleged victim, last name Bryant, and stay away from the address on Sylvan Road. Moreover, she's to absolutely have no weapons of any type or alcohol or drugs without a prescription. Anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thanks.
All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Edmonds. What do we have next?
Next, we have position number 7, Ms. Hollis.
All right, good afternoon, Ms. Hollis. Your case is 23 CR 0000324C. You're charged with battery, family violence with the offense date of December 6th of 2022. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as this is her first arrest, we'll go to the state. Is this your case, Mr. Taylor?
No, this is my case, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Go ahead, please proceed, Mr. Abdullah.
Your Honor, the facts show that on December 6, 2022, the defendant struck the victim, which is her 12-year-old minor stepchild, in the arm and leg with an extension cord, twice on each limb, causing visible injury. While striking the minor child, she called her a black monkey. Apparently, there was apparently the defendant believed that the child may have stole her cell phone. The defendant admitted to officers to striking the child because of the stolen cell phone, as well as other reasons. She doesn't have any arrest record, but the facts are still concerning to the state. And for this reason, we're requesting a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with minor child, a stay away from 507 Dot Drive, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while on bond, and a 1-day anger awareness class.
All right, thank you. One question, I am gonna sound How old is the minor stepchild? She said 13.
12.
She's 12. Is it the state's information that she lives with the defendant, or is she only there periodically?
I believe she lives with the defendant and her husband.
And her husband. Okay.
Who's the dad?
Is either what is the minor child's name? I'm gonna sound just in case.
Shamaya Hollis.
All right. Is there a Shemaiah Hollis on the line, or a Mr. Hollis on the line, perhaps? All right. Hearing none. Miss Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Hollis is 32 years old, and right now, ever since that incident on December 6, 2022, Shemaya is actually residing with her sister, so they are not living together because of the defects getting involved and all that stuff. This became a lot bigger than what my client was anticipated. She was basically disciplining her stepdaughter, for stealing and lying and all that kind of stuff. And she thought that this was legal corporate punishment, and yet when defect got involved, things became a little bit bigger than what it should be. And they have actually five children together, living together, 13, 12, 8, and 3 and 4 months old. So she has to go back to that 4-month-old who really needs a mother. She's gainfully employed at Fulton County Northside Hospital as a lab assistant. She's been working there for the last 2 years. She also has a 2 years of college associate degree, and she's also pursuing her nursing license as well. So she's not going to be qualified for public defender's service, and she will be she is allowed to meet with her stepdaughter under the supervision of another third party, and she has been doing FaceTime. So we actually would like to request for a no further violent contact and signature bond for this incident. Thanks, Your Honor.
All right. At this time, the defendant's going to receive a $2,000 surety bond. She's to have no contact with the alleged victim at this time and stay away from the address on Dot Drive so long as the victim resides there. She can return with law enforcement to ascertain whether or not the minor child is still living at that residence. If the child lives there, she must stay away. Moreover, she's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, ma'am. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 3, Mr. Jaquan Crawford.
All right, Mr. Crawford, your case is 23 CR 000320B. You're charged with battery, substantial physical harm, and simple battery, each with the offense date of December the 2nd of 2021. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Howard.
13 total. He got a 2016 arrest out of Missouri, making false report. 2016 arrest out of Tennessee, fraud, obtain of a controlled substance. Last arrest in Georgia. That's a lot of charges. January 2022, ag assault, armed robbery, false imprisonment, battery DV, obstruction. Those possession of a knife or a firearm during a commission. Those were dismissed out of Gwinnett County. Driving without a valid license, he pled NOLO 2021. 2016 probation. 2015 probation, 2013 failure to appear.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Taylor, please proceed.
Your Honor, officers arrived at the incident location in reference to a domestic dispute. After speaking with a security guard on the scene and a co-worker of the victim, they finally spoke with the victim. She stated that she got into an argument with her boyfriend, the defendant, in her car. The defendant began punching her. The victim attempted to get away, and the defendant grabbed her by the jacket, pulled her back into the car, and continued punching her. The victim stated that she fell out of the car, and the defendant got out of the vehicle, got on top of her, began pulling her hair, biting her, and stepped on her face. The victim was able to get away and hide in the bushes nearby. The defendant drove away with the victim's vehicle. When officers arrived, the victim had visible bite marks to her wrist and neck, as well as bits of hair were found at the incident location. The state would be asking for a $7,000 surety bond in the case. No contact with the victim, Ebony Goins. That's EBONEGOINS. Stay away from the incident location, 25 Glen Lake Parkway. That's the that's the location that she works, and to take one anger management class.
All right. I think I saw Ms. Goins on the screen. Ms. Goins, if you'd like to make a statement, I need you to unmute your screen and please raise your right hand. You're not required to make a statement, however. Would you like to make a statement today?
No, he's a good person. Honestly, I still want to him.
Stop. If you're speaking, you're going to make a statement. So do you wish to make a statement?
No.
Okay. All right. That's all we need then. Thank
no,
you.
I don't.
Okay. Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Crawford is 30 years old and he just got out of the jail after being incarcerated for about a year, if I remember correctly. He was at Gwinnett County Jail, this happened on December 2nd, 2021. It's very remote. I believe that he is completely okay with it away from the incident location. He's got the mother's address where he can stay in Decatur. And right now he does not have any employment. His highest level of education was high school diploma. He's qualified for public defender's services due to the fact that he has not had any employment and he has no other income source. He has no other way to bail him out. So we would like to request for a signature on bond for this incident. And Your Honor, I don't believe Miss Ebony Goins is scared of my client at all. But we have no objection to stay away. Thanks, Your Honor.
All right, defendant's going to receive a $3,000 surety bond, broken down 2,000 count 1, 1,000 count 2. He's to have no further contact with the alleged victim and stay away from the incident location. Additionally, he's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything further from either party?
Can we just have a one-time law enforcement officer escorted visit just to retrieve personal belongings? He just got out of the jails and he may need to retrieve some stuff.
Yes, he can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items that might be there.
Thanks.
All right, that's the sir. Who do we have next?
Next, Your Honor, we have position number 6, Mr. Devontae Hightower.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Hightower. Your case is 23 CR 00032A. You're charged with simple battery and theft by taking with the offense date of January the 16th. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Second arrest, last was back in September for disorderly conduct out of Riverdale. So that appears to be open.
Thank you. Mr. Taylor?
Your Honor, on January 16th, 2023, the defendant entered multiple restaurants in the area of 933 Peachtree Street and caused a disturbance. He went into Five Guys where he was ordered to leave and grabbed the arm of a worker there. Once he left there, he went to a nearby Vietnamese restaurant, Sewing Garden, and was acting drunk and belligerent. He was asked to leave there, but refused and got into a fight with 2 security guards on the premises who removed him. After that, he went into a Taco Mac where he went in the kitchen and grabbed a 9-inch knife and was ordered to return the knife, but left the business with it. The state would be asking for a $7,000 surety bond to stay away from all 3 locations, 933 Peachtree Street, which is the Taco Mac, 848 Peachtree Street, which is the Sewing Garden, which is spelled SOIGNE. Garden is common spelling. 860 Peachtree Street Northeast, which is the Five Guys, and to have no contact with Jordan Jones, who's the victim that he grabbed, and to have one anger management class.
All right. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 22 years old. He is a native of Atlanta. He is gainfully employed. He tells me that he works for Allied as a security officer and has been doing so for some time. He denies the allegations as stated in the warrant and in the prosecutor's statement of the case. He said what happened was that he was actually at a club sitting and having a drink, and when the alleged victim approached him and offered to buy him a drink, and he kept trying to ply him with drinks, and he didn't want to have any more drinks. And that started an argument because he just thought it was odd that this guy just wouldn't go away when he wanted him to go away. So an altercation started, and the security guards jumped on him. And the reason why he tried to go into these other restaurants, he was trying to get away and he was trying to find something to defend himself with. So that was when he went into the restaurant, because there were these three men after him and he grabbed the knife. I would ask the court, given the fact that he does not have any significant criminal history and these are not personal people, he was just out, and as he said, he was jumped by these people, that the court would consider giving him a signature bond so he can get out of jail and get back to work. Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. At this time, the defendant's going to receive $1,000 surety bond, $500 for each count. He's to stay away from each of the locations on Peachtree Road and have no contact with Mr. Jones. Moreover, he's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
No.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. What do we have next?
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Have a great afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
Thank you, Your Honor. Same to you.
Next, we have position number 9, Mr. Lionel Merritt.
All right, Mr. Merritt, your case is 23 CR 0003268. You're charged with battery family violence with the offense date of January the 16th. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
11 total. You have a 2012 arrest out of Alabama for DUI, public order crimes. Last arrest in Georgia, 2006. Probation violation for 4 counts of armed robbery, possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. Before that was in the 90s.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Abdullah, please proceed.
Officers were called to 2966 Sim Street in regards to a fight. When they arrived, they met with the defendant and he told them him and his stepdaughter were in a verbal altercation and he mushed her forehead. The victim, Nakisha Williams, said she was over visiting her mom when the defendant started an argument about some stolen copper from a previous residence that they lived in, at which time the mother tried to break it up and the defendant mushed his stepdaughter in the head. The victim, Miss Williams, suffered visible swelling to the left side of her face. For this reason, we're asking for a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, Nakisha Williams, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
All right, is Nakisha Williams present on the Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement? All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Merritt. He is 62 years old. He's been here in Georgia ever since he was 19, about 41 years. He's been here. And Your Honor, they are common law marriage, actually. So he is legally single, and yet they have been living together for about 27 years. And he considers Nakisha Williams as a stepdaughter. Your Honor, he is retired and he used to work as a plumber. He graduated from high school, and right now he is living with a Social Security check and food stamp, and he is qualified for public defender's service. He was not actually, he denies the allegation of actual physical altercation. It was verbal, and my client, he does not have any funds to make any financial bond. So we would like to request for signature on bond, and we have no objection to a no further contact with Nakisha Williams. Thanks.
All right, at this time, defendant is going to receive a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial per judge. He's to take the one-day anger awareness course and have no contact with Ms. Williams. Moreover, he's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Merritt. Who do we have next?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, what was that bond amount?
6,000 SOB through pretrial.
Thank you. And next we have position number 10, Mr. Jordan Paula.
All right, Mr. Pollard, your case is 23 CR 000327D. You're charged with theft by shoplifting with the offense date of January the 17th. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have the history, please?
25 total. Last arrest was back in December for trespass out of Shamley. On probation in Newton County, interference with government property. Got a probation for burglary as well. Does have a hold. Let's see. October he was arrested. November he was arrested for parole violation. October possession of drug-related object. September failure to appear. August disorderly conduct, shoplifting.
Okay, that's sufficient. Thank you. Mr. Abdullah?
The facts show that on January 17th, the defendant entered into a Target and attempted to leave the Target with 2 pairs of jeans and containers of Tide. He was stopped by loss prevention. The items were recovered. As you heard, the defendant does have 2 prior theft by shoplifting charges from 2022, as well as multiple probation violations and an FTA from September. It's unlikely that he will comply with any bond orders or return to court. And for that reason, we're asking for a $2,000 surety bond and a stay away from 2539 Piedmont Road, as well as no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while on bond.
All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Parler is 30 years old, and he has been here in Georgia for about 10 years. Your Honor, he has not had any employment for a long time, actually, because he was released from incarceration about 2 years ago at Newton County. Also, he has another foreign county hold from the Newton County. So, Your Honor, he cannot run away from anywhere. He's not a flight risk, and he will be probably released to Newton County Jail. We would like to request for a signature on bond since he is residentially challenged, and also he does not have any financial means to pay for any bond. Right now, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, there is a $1,000 good bond already placed by the previous magistrate court. We would like to keep that as well, if not signature on bond. Thanks, Your Honor.
Bond will remain and set at the $1,000 surety. He's to stay away from that Target on Piedmont Road and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thanks.
Okay, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
No, you're done. Mr. Paul, give me 1 second, Your Honor. This is position number 14, Mr. Stringer. But before we proceed, Mr. Parler, did he get a signature bond or a surety bond?
Got a surety bond. Bond is remaining at $5,000 surety place.
Thank you. Appreciative.
All right. Miss, your case is 23 CR 0000330C. You're charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of September the 22nd of 2021. You understand your right?
Yes, Your Honor. Hold myself, man. Hold tight, man. Hey, relax. Relax.
All right. Mr. Howard, can I have history? Oh, first arrest. So we'll go.
Your Honor, are you ready for me?
I'm ready.
Okay, Your Honor, the facts show that the defendant and the victim were in a relationship. The victim here is Taisha Gibeon. They were involved in a verbal dispute on 9/22/2021, in which Ms. Gibeon attempted to leave, and the defendant followed her in his vehicle. The defendant blocked the victim from leaving. He then got out of his vehicle and jumped on top of the victim's car, Ms. Gibeon, and smashed her windshield with his foot. The incident was caught on camera and reviewed by police officers. For this reason, we're asking for a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness, and a stay away from 113 Huff Road, as well as 790 Huff Road. No further contact with Taisha Gibeon, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while on bond.
Is Ms. Gibeon present on the Zoom conference? Wishes to be heard? All right. Ms. Kim, I'm inclined to agree with the state's recommendation that we give him the signature bond through pretrial in light of the age of this case. Do you have any objections to the state's recommendation?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. At this time, the defendant's going to receive a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial. He is to have no contact with Ms. Gibeon and stay away from the address on Huff Road. I am going to require the 1-day anger awareness course, and he is also to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor. I just want to verify that stay away address is Huff Road. Am I correct?
There was two Huff Road addresses. The incident happened at a particular restaurant, and then it seems like they left and went to a parking garage. We're unsure which one of them live at that address, but basically the addresses are 113 Huff Road and 790 Huff Road.
Your Honor, the wife and my client are separated, and she is right now residing in California because that's where she's from. We would like to make sure that my client is able to return to his house. 379 Sapphire Boulevard is where he resides, Your Honor.
That wasn't a stay away from.
So the stay away from anywhere on Huff should not prevent him from going home. But he's no contact with Miss Gibeon. All right. Anything further? All right. Best of luck. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 13, Mr. Jose Rojas.
All right, Mr. Rojas. 00329E. You're charged with interference with custody and contributing to the unruliness of a minor with the offense date of December the 10th of 2022. Do you understand your rights today?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Hart, can I have this history, please?
This is a first arrest.
Okay. All right. I didn't have that was first. Go ahead, Mr. Abdullah. Please proceed.
Your Honor, the state purposely held this case due to the severity of the facts or the oddness of the facts. We just have the warrant. We're still waiting on the police to finish their investigation. We expect that more charges are going to come once we get the full investigation and the full report. Right now, what we know is that the defendant since December 10th has encouraged a minor child, SG, who is under 17, to run away from home and school and booked hotel rooms for her. The defendant has picked the minor child up from the area where she lives and from the school she attends and transported her to hotel rooms. The defendant has booked and paid for several hotel rooms for the minor child since December 10th. Again, we don't know all of the facts, but from the facts we have, the state is very concerned. We imagine that there could be a possibility of human trafficking, child molestation, prostitution. We're not exactly sure yet. For that reason, we're requesting a $5,000 cash bond. no further contact with the minor child, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while on bond. And that's $5,000 cash for each count.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Rosa Jose is, he was born in 1997. He is 35 years old, and he has been here in US for about 20 years, and he's now a US citizen. He has 2 jobs. He works at DocuFree as a factory warehouse, and he also worked at a construction industry for a long time. He has a high school diploma. Your Honor, he says that he is the complaining witness who is a minor, and her sister who is 25 years old. They have access to his debit card, and they used his debit card to pay for the hotel without his permission. So my client denies the allegation. He resides with his father, and he's a single. We would like to request for signature on bond for these charges.
I'm sorry, say the last part, Ms. Kim. You said he resides with his father.
Yes, and his parents, actually.
All right. At this time, there's no witnesses or victims on the line, are there? Let me sound for SG by any chance. Probably not, but I just want to make sure. All right, at this time, defendant's going to receive a $2,000 cash bond, $1,000 cash on each charge. He is to have no further contact with SG, and he's to further have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Rojas. All right. Does that complete the calendar? I believe there was a waived appearance for position 5.
Yes, Your Honor, there's one.
All right. And we're completed courtroom 2?
Yes, we are, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, you may. Have a great afternoon. Now we're going to take up the case of Johnny Fowler, 23 CR 0000322A, in which defendants charged with criminal trespass with the offense date of January the 17th. Mr. Howard, can I have that history?
39 total. Last arrest was in November, trespass. Before that was March, failure to appear. 2021, obstruction, trespass. 2021, failure to appear, theft by receiving, obstruction. That came off of February 2021 arrest. 2020 shoplifting conviction. Simple battery, criminal trespass, obstruction, conviction, 2017 out of Clayton County. Pled NOLO, criminal trespass, 2016, 2015 as well. 2015 FTA shoplifting.
I think that's,
keep on? Oh.
That's good. Mr. Taylor?
Your Honor, Officer Salters with the APD was near the racetrack at 120 Piedmont Avenue when he saw the defendant eating fries near a gas pump. He had prior knowledge that the defendant was not supposed to be at that location and had a criminal trespass warning from that spot. The defendant's criminal trespass warning was from 9/25/22, and he was recently arrested for trespassing on 11/4/22. On 11/17/22, he actually pled guilty to criminal trespass and obstruction, where he was ordered to stay away from the same location as part of his plea. Because he keeps going back to the same location over and over, we would be asking for a $2,000 surety bond and to continue to stay away from the racetrack located at 120 Piedmont Avenue Northeast.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. He is qualified for public defender services since he has not had any employment, Your Honor, because he was in and out of the jail. He even $500 will be for him, it would be like a no bond at all. So we would like to request for a signature on bond for this incident. And yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we ask for maximum $250 good bond. And he is 37 years old. He's been here in Georgia for 27 years. And he has not had any job. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, defendant will receive a $1,000 surety bond. He's to stay away from the address on Piedmont Avenue and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, I believe that completes the entire calendar. Ms. Bridgewater, will you please review for me?
I certainly will, Your Honor. Again, the SAP calendar reset date is going to be January the 31st. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a $4,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. Position 2 is reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through the jail. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 total good bond. Position 4, reset further notice with a $10,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 5 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 6, SAP calendar with a $1,000 total good bond. Position 7, SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. Position 8 is reset further notice as the defendant was released. Position 9, reset further notice with a $6,000 SOB through pretrial per judge. Position 10 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 11 is going to the SAP calendar with a $7,500 good bond. Position 12, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. Position 13 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,000 total cash bond. And position 14, reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through pretrial. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
Was number 2 SOB jail or pretrial?
SOB jail. $5,000 SOB jail.
One more question. Hold on. Did number 1 get anger awareness?
They did.
Number 1 did? Okay.
With no further violent contact.
Okay.
Are there any others?
I'm good.
All right, hearing none, we'll be in recess until tomorrow's SCA calendar. Everyone take care. Have a great rest of your afternoon.
You
Bye-bye.
as well, Judge.
Have a good day.
All
Bye-bye,
right,
everyone.
bye-bye.